job.
Talbot is waiting, my dear. Quick, go to the room barometer.
You found another key.
This one has a brain on it.
Charming, eh? You know, Rena kept an actual human brain in her office. Got it from medical school.
Gross.
Very.
You remember such random things.
Don't we all? Hold out your hand, please. There we go. Now it's activated. Shall we begin? And by that I mean, would you please give me a dose? So, we came up with this plan to build a machine that would be a transport device, like a ship or a plane. But instead of taking us around the world, this machine would take us inside, into the human mind. We wanted to test our theory about how the brain is built much like a machine. More, please. We had only the vaguest idea how to proceed. We built dozens of prototypes, and they were disasters. They'd malfunction, blow their fuses, short circuit, but we couldn't give up.
What did those machines actually do? I mean, were you drilling a hole into people's skulls or what?
No. At first we built a sort of headdress. The one you are wearing right now, in fact. It was difficult to wear, as you know, because it completely blinded the test subject while they were using the machine. But it worked. It opened a window, I suppose you could say. We were able to pair electrical impulses, and that created the connection. We were able to look through a portal and actually see into another person's mind.
What did you see?
If you would be so kind as to share those lights with me, we can proceed. We saw how the mind worked. It was like watching a movie, but the movie was another person's thoughts and memories. I saw some things I wasn't meant to see, I suspect. But we were off to the races. Go, find another key and bring it back so I can activate it. Go on now!
This is starting to sound like a science fiction movie. How did they figure all this stuff out? I mean, they're from the 1950s. If even half of what he's telling me is true, this is... I don't even know what to think. This is hurting my head. Not sure how I'm going to write about looking inside other people's brains, but I guess I'll figure it out.
Talbot is waiting, my dear. Quick, go to the room barometer.
Все схемы являются активными.
Which key is this?
The fifth.
You're more than halfway there. Let's see the latest one. A wrench. That's odd. Don't remember that one. Does it remind you of anything?
Not really. It's your key, not mine.
It's just that you're very mechanically inclined. My father was the same way, you know. Could fix anything, but terrible with money. As was I, until I met Rena. So, let's see what we discover today. Right. The Mind Palace. Have you ever heard that term?
No.
You create a series of locations in the mind where you can store information that you want to remember. The ancient Greeks used it to memorize long speeches, things like that. They'd think of a place they knew and they'd attach memories to the specific locations or rooms. When they thought of the location, that triggered the specific memory. Here's the amazing thing. When we went inside people's minds, we discovered that people intuitively create mind palaces for all their thoughts and memories. It's the mind organizing itself, but it's more than that. More, please. Rena and I could look inside these palaces and explore, watch people's thoughts and memories. But we soon discovered that parts of these palaces were blocked off. We couldn't access them. We wanted to, of course, but we could only look. We couldn't touch.
Why would you want to? Those doors are probably closed for a reason.
If you could share a bit more, I'll try to recall. Our theory was that things get trapped in the mind. The mind becomes a sort of prison. A trained professional could go in there and set the patient free. Doctors could enter the minds of comatose patients, heal from the inside out. We could bring unconscious conflicts out into the open and help people solve their problems in a matter of hours rather than years. It could mean the end of so much needless suffering.
But invading someone's mind like that? How is that okay?
Don't knock it till you try it, my dear. You should go. We'll talk more later.
There's something that guy is not telling me. I don't think it's some memory he's lost either. I think he's intentionally hiding something. Are we really going to be able to bring him back into the real world? Is that even possible? I wonder what he looks like. I wonder why I don't know what he looks like. I mean, I've been all over this house practically, and I haven't even seen a single picture of him that I know of. What is going on here? I've got to get a picture of him for the blog.
Nicely done. Talbot is waiting, my dear. Quick, go to the room barometer.
Sounds so good.
These are difficult days, my dear. You must have found another key.
The picture looks like a chess piece, a pawn or something.
It's an inside joke about our work and our test subjects. Rena was Russian, and the Russians have a dark sense of humor. That's better. So, we had the machine ready to go. It was time to use it. It was time to enter the parallel, and from there into a person's mind. This led us to a very awkward question. Namely, whose mind were we going to view? We needed a test subject. But who would be the right candidate? We didn't know if it would be safe, so we thought, well, just use it on each other. Oh dear. Oh dear.
You okay?
You better give me some more. Quick! Okay, let's see. Oh, thank God. We didn't use it on each other. For a minute there, I thought we did.
What's the big deal?
I take it you're not married.
Who, me? Married? No way.
We all have secrets we prefer to hide from one another, especially from those we love. We don't need to know absolutely everything about each other. A little mystery is a good thing.
So, if you guys weren't the test subjects, who was?
That's a question we struggled with. The procedure is a bit invasive, you see. There are some risks involved. We needed test subjects who were, how should I say this, who were uncomplicated, single men of a certain age.
Prisoners. You tested on prisoners.
Yes, but only at first. Only until we worked out the kinks. Later, when it was safer, we chose test subjects, people who were most convenient to us, college students. We felt we could drum up some test subjects from our old university haunts. We posted our ad on the message board, where it wouldn't draw too much of the wrong kind of attention. It was very easy to set up a study and offer them a bit of money for their first time. More, please. We had some setbacks, of course, but once we had it all figured out, remember those locked doors I was telling you about? The ones inside people's minds?
Yeah, the ones I said you shouldn't open.
You did say that, but you of all people should know that locked doors can be opened. You found your way in here, after all.
So, tell me again, why didn't you go inside Rena's mind?
That would not have gone well. She was a complicated person.
What about you? Are you complicated too?
Love is complicated. I adored that woman, but sometimes I hated her too. Don't think it was good for her to see that. You should go. I need some rest for a while.
Did you notice how he started talking about Rena in the past tense? Holy shit. I'm starting to think something happened to his wife. Did he hurt her or something? What if he did and he just can't remember? Is this blog going to turn into some kind of murder mystery?
Strange to have a nursery when there aren't any children about, I suppose. But for a short time, we thought we were about to be parents, and I suppose we just got a bit ahead of ourselves. Decorated this room a bit prematurely. No time to waste, miss. Go to the room barometer.
Съедение является активным.
anxious about your visit this time, Patterson.
Why?
Some of the memories you brought to me have been painful ones. I fear the worst is yet to come.
You may be right.
I suppose we don't get to choose what's happened in the past. Just have to live with it. Very well then. Let's begin.
Don't you want your key?
Ah, right, of course. I'm a bit distracted, aren't I? Let's see it, please. The picture this time was a motorcycle. I imagine you ride?
Used to. Don't anymore. Here's your medicine.
You remember, we hoped that our discovery would be of use to doctors and investigators and such. Well, for that to really work, they'd have to actually physically enter the space of the mind. It's not enough to simply look. They'd have to be able to interact with what they saw. That's why we built that machine you see there. Patterson, I think we're getting close to finding out what went wrong with Rena and I. Give me some more if you would. It all came down to transforming and moving energy. There's nothing solid in this world. Everything we see is in motion on an atomic level. We found a way to harness this energy and cross over into the realm of pure consciousness. Here, give me a bit more, will you? It worked. At first, it was terrifying. Probably how it felt for people when planes were first invented. Just didn't seem possible. But after a while, people got used to planes, didn't they? And we got used to going back and forth between these planes of existence. You've certainly gotten used to it, haven't you?
I don't know if I'd say I'm used to this, exactly.
That's good. You should keep your guard up a bit. This is more dangerous for you than you know. We were not as clever as you. We put too much faith in our own machines. We ignored the warning signs. This next memory must be more difficult than the rest. It's very resistant. I can only remember a small bit at a time. Could you go and bring back a bit more? We're nearly there, I think.
That's our radio telescope. Rena and I used to try it and sort out where exactly the parallel exists in galactic space, using the stars to build a map for ourselves. Give it a try. Use the wheels to orient the telescope to the parallel's cosmic position. Where is she? Blast it! Well done! You're ready to go back to town with Use the barometer. Let's see if she's up to the task. This should be interesting.
Did it. I've got the 8th key.
Let's worry about that later. Dose me, please. At first, I didn't think much of it. These are customized machines, you know, not mass-produced. You expect some glitches once in a while, a few sparks here and there. And Rena was so excited. I was thinking about her instead of paying attention. I should have known. The machine was acting up more than usual that day. I should have insisted we wait until I had time to make some adjustments. But Rena was too excited, too eager to continue. I can't blame her, though. She wasn't the fool. I was, because I knew better.
She went in?
At first, everything was fine. I just assumed I was being paranoid, worrying too much. But then, when it was time for her to come out, there was no sign of her. The machine couldn't find her. She disappeared. Do you want to find out what happened next? I'm ready. It was my worst nightmare. I built the machine. I was responsible for keeping it functioning correctly. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I panicked. I should have stopped and thought. I should have taken the time to fix the machine properly. But I was frantic. Rena was gone. I had to help her. So I went in after her.
And then what?
Traumatic memories are hard to process. It takes a while to piece it all together. Could you give me a bit more? I went in, and there must have been some kind of electrical surge or something. Overloaded the circuits, perhaps. And then this happened. Whatever this is. Before I could make it the whole way through, the connection dropped. My mind was torn apart. I can only assume that the machine sent only part of me through, leaving the rest of my mind in the physical plane, splintered into small bits of energetic light, settling like fallout throughout the mansion. So that's what happened. So she is here. She's lost, and thanks to you, I've got full control of my mind back. Now, what I need to do is get out of here, back to the physical world, and recalibrate the machines properly. Once I've done that, I'll be able to locate Rena, and then I can bring her back as well. We're so close. Everything we're doing for Rena now. Let's see the 8th key. Another chess piece.
Yep, the queen, I guess.
Of course it is. Now, here's what you need to do. Return to the mansion's foyer. Look for a large prescribed circle in the floor near the entrance to the home. The lab entrance will present itself to you. The answers are there. What we're both seeking is there.
Man, if the machine did that to you, then it must have obliterated your wife. I mean, I'll do what you're asking. I want to see the secret lab as much as the next guy, but, I mean, come on. I can't tell if he really thinks he's going to find his wife, or if he's just kidding himself. Or maybe he's lying to me to get me to help him. I don't know. But if he's using me, let's face it, I'm using him too. His story is probably going to make me rich. And besides, what if it is all true? What if that lady really is trapped in some kind of permanent limbo? What a nightmare.